like Four Brothers was something that we all grew up on as young kids. You know what I mean? And and so that was something that he was also deeply inspired by, and us being brothers as well. Not blood brothers, but blood could make us closer. That was something that obviously was something that we wanted to obviously tap into as well, because that mixed with the feel of like Michael Mann's Heat and
Mhm.
the Den of Thieves of the world, and stuff like that is something that we wanted to kind of explore together. We thought that that was a great opportunity to do so.
Mm. And were those two films that you just mentioned, Heat and Den of Thieves, were there sort of films that you look to in order to sort of strike the balance between, drama and action? Because you do, the third act, of course, is obviously involves a heist, and that's very well structured and staged.
Yeah, and you hit on something. Yeah, exactly. So like that third act, I mean, it's kind of like once that third act starts, it doesn't slow down. I think
Hmm.
for the last 30, 40 minutes of the movie, it's just go, go, go. That first and second actor, obviously you have a couple of action sequences in between, but a lot of it is just, like I said, exposition. And I think that's where we really, yeah, for me personally, I know Chidera has his inspirations, but for me personally, Michael Mann's Heat, Den of Thieves, those were two projects that I really enjoyed the slow roast of building the characters more. And that's what, kind of the thing that I was trying to get out of the script and extrapolate out of it even more is just, you know, people fall in love with characters. They fall in love with humans, and they don't necessarily fall in love with the action and the guns and the shooting and stuff like that. And I think we have a market right now that's really pretty saturated with that kind of content. And I know that for me personally, even though we shot this a very long time ago, we shot it in 2021. It didn't release until 2025 because we wanted to, we were avoiding industry predators and all types of bad deals. But while we were shooting it, I still had enough, cognitive to know that I didn't want this to lean into the typical arena of a lot of the stuff you see on streaming, which is, kind of just passing time. I wanted to make sure that I tried to involve as much as possible as I could on an $80,000 budget, enough story, enough character development elements that'll create sort of this attachment, you know what I mean, for audiences. And I think that that was probably the thing that maybe made the film stand out, because it wasn't just an ABC action, wall to wall film.
Hmm.
It had a little bit of elements where you can kind of like attach yourself to some of the circumstances that these characters were in. So
Hmm. So Russell, in Hierarchy.